Hi everyone, you're watching Good for the Game TV from me, Brent Graham, at the end of what's been a long and I must be honest, a rather unsuccessful punting day. I didn't catch anything on the horses. In fact, it started last night pretty badly in the sevens as well. And things just pretty much got worse in the rugby where I had the big bet at half time of the Kings game, Edinburgh to score more than 22.5 points. Don't know how they failed to do that, camping on the Kings line for phase after phase, but showing absolutely no emotion. Anyways, as all good punters do, I'll be looking to bounce back. And of course, we've got the Hamilton Sevens later tonight from New Zealand. And I'll go straight into sharing my screen there with you. And let's have a look at what's happened so far. I'll just pop on here to the pools. And we've got Pool A, Fiji, as expected, winning all three of their games. I was very impressed with Fiji. They finished ahead of Australia and Argentina. The USA won all three. They're, of course, currently leading the series. They're pretty impressive. Samoa, though, causing the upset. They beat England. Must say I was on them on the handicap in that game, and it never looked in doubt. Quite impressed with Samoa. They now go through to the quarterfinals with the USA. No surprises in Pool C, really. You had South Africa winning all three of their games, although I wasn't particularly impressed with them. Scotland, well, they did let us down in the opening game on the handicap against France, coming back late to win the game, but it wasn't quite enough for those of us who had backed them. New Zealand, they've impressed me more than I expected. They look pretty good. They're on 9 points. They won all three, and they go through with Canada joining them in the quarterfinals. Let's now have a look at the draw. This is quite interesting. We've got Fiji up against Canada. No surprise, you'll find that Fiji are massive favourites there at around about the 24-point mark. And South Africa against Samoa. South Africa, the Blitzboks, they are firm favourites to beat Samoa, but I wouldn't be rushing into them. We'll talk about the betting in just a minute. So those two are set, South Africa and Fiji, more than likely to meet in the semi-finals. Then if we look down below, we got New Zealand up against Australia. You'd favour New Zealand to go through there. And the USA against Scotland. Well, USA should also progress here. Scotland haven't impressed me much in this tournament. So it should be a New Zealand-USA semi-final. Might as well carry on through with the predictions at this stage. I think Fiji will be too good for the Blitzboks or Samoa, wherever they meet. I really think that when they turn it on, they're comfortably the best side. So I do see Fiji into the final, and most likely joined by New Zealand, although USA, if they put it together, can beat New Zealand. Of course, missing Perry Baker with that terrible injury that he got, though, and perhaps that'll be enough just to see New Zealand through. Let's pop on then to the World Sports Betting site. Here's their homepage. We'll click onto the Hamilton Sevens link, and let's have a look at the outright betting. You've got 9-10 Fiji, 19-10 New Zealand. As I say, I expect those two to meet in the final. 15-2 South Africa, and the USA at 9-1. You can get 28-1 and better the balance. And right here, you'll notice in the first preview, although I did fancy Fiji at 15-10, I sort of stopped short of getting too involved there. I like to have a look at how things look going into the quarterfinals. And it's here that World Sports Betting have got a very nice special on. And the reason that I think Fiji at 9-10 are actually a cracking bet. So let's bring that up. Back any team to win the tournament before the start of the quarterfinals. And if your selection loses in the final, we refund your stake in free bets. Now, as I've shown you there, Fiji, Canada, surely only one winner there. I don't see them losing their semi-final. So potentially get to the final, you've basically got a 9-10 bet to basically nothing there. You can get your stake back. There are T's and C's, so you'll want to look at that. But essentially, you're getting your stake back in the form of free bets. So that's a great special, and is one of the reasons why I like now to wait for the quarterfinals to come before getting involved. Unfortunately, in Cape Town, I think I've got Fiji at about 15-10 heading into the quarters. This time they are a bit short, and it really is because only Fiji and New Zealand have really looked the goods in this tournament. South Africa have looked pretty poor. But I'm going to say New Zealand, probably a bit of value there at 19-10. But for me, it's Fiji. I think Fiji are going to win this tournament, and I'll be lumping on the 9-10 to hopefully get me going again on the weekend, because it hasn't been a particularly good one. Lump on the 9-10, and if it loses, you get your stake back up to a maximum of 2,000 Rand with World Sports Betting. Let's just skim through the quarterfinals, have a look at the handicaps. We've got Fiji up against Canada. Fiji minus 24.5. Well, there's no doubt in my mind if Fiji turn it on, they can beat this handicap and probably beat it quite comfortably. But interesting to see the Canada plus 24.5 is actually shortened a bit, suggesting there's some money for the Canadians. And I guess at the end of the day, a comfortable Fiji win will be the result, but whether they'll win by 25 or not, well, I'm not too sure about that. Not a game I'm going to get involved in. Let's have a look at South Africa up against Samoa. South Africa minus 9.5. or 2-9 for the win, and you can get almost 4-1 about Samoa. And I must say, from what I've seen of Samoa, I think they've got an excellent chance of winning this game. I haven't been impressed by the blitz books. We're just lacking those game breakers at the moment. Some good, honest endeavor by the guys, but we're just not looking like the dangerous split box sides of old. And this Samoa side is starting to play well, and they've got a couple of very dangerous runners, and they're playing to a pretty good defensive pattern as well. I'll make Samoa plus 9.5 my best bet for the quarterfinals. Interesting to see the money appears to be coming for South Africa, but you can never count out the fact that that could be patriotic money. So I'm going Samoa plus 9.5, and I'm also going to have a nibble on them at just shy of 4-1 to win the game. Moving on to New Zealand, Australia, the handicaps here is 11.5 points, New Zealand. If anything, I would be on the home team here, that they can beat the handicap, but I do think this cap is fairly well set. And that takes us to the final game, the USA against Scotland, also 11.5 points. I haven't been impressed by the Scots in this tournament. I'll have a small interest in the USA minus 11.5. But really, to sum up from my side, as far as the quarterfinals go, I'll be looking to oppose the blitz box on the handicap, and then just pop back to here. I'll be going for Fiji to win the tournament at 9-10, hoping I've got a free play heading into the final. That then is the end of the day 2 preview of the Hamilton Sevens. I'm probably going to stay up as late as I can. I think the final will be the sort of early Sunday morning, so I should be able to wake up and watch that and hopefully see Fiji win the tournament. Thanks very much for watching. If you do want to open a World Sports Betting account, you can click here and open, and do go to the bottom of the video and subscribe to our videos. We've got plenty of rugby previews coming up over the next few weeks.